Hi guys, welcome to the Healthcare channel. Today's video we will talk about 9 signs you're drinking an excessive amount of alcohol during the coronavirus pandemic. In the wake of the coronavirus pandemic, Americans are panic buying quite just toilet tissue and eggs. US alcohol sales spiked 55% within the week ending March 21st, consistent with data from marketing research firm Nielsen. Online alcohol sales were up 243%. Much of which will probably be attributed to stocking abreast of booze for several weeks' worth of self-isolation. Consistent with a survey by alcohol.org, 1 in 5 respondents said they stockpiled alcohol for just that reason. However, many of us also are drinking more in general. 1 in 3 respondents said they're likely to extend alcohol consumption in isolation. While a couple of extra drinks to urge you through the strain and tedium of being stuck reception won't be an enormous deal, it can become a slippery slope. How much drinking is taken into account normal? Moderate alcohol consumption is defined as up to at least 1 drink per day for ladies and up to 2 drinks per day for men. Keep in mind that these guidelines ask the quantity you drink on any single day. It's not meant to be a means of drinks consumed over several days. However, these are just guidelines. What's considered normal drinking is somewhat subjective and supported your own body and behaviors. If you don't have a drag with alcohol, an additional glass of wine here and there isn't something to be worried about. People are bored, stuck in their homes and really stressed. For some, kicking back with a drink is perfectly normal. It's when your habits and thoughts surrounding alcohol begin to vary for the more severe that you simply should worry. Unhealthy alcohol use exists on a spectrum, which may range from alcohol misuse to abuse to dependency. During the challenges of the looming threat of the pandemic, plus the stresses of lockdown, we are naturally turning to any coping skills we've available, she said. Many folks are shut far away from our greatest coping mechanisms, including social interactions, yoga class, time with relatives and friends and even time in nature. That means some people are dressed to deal with methods that are available reception, including alcohol. Maybe that has you. If so, keep an eye fixed out for these signs that you simply could be drinking an excessive amount of. 1. You drink because you're stressed. In general, it's considered problematic when alcohol intake increases during stressful situations, even during the COVID-19 pandemic, said Amanda Brown, a psychiatric psychological state NP at New York Presbyterian Hospital and an associate at Columbia University Irving Center. It means we are using alcohol to deal with the negative emotions caused by stress. Brown explained that when you're stressed, you experience new or uncontrolled emotions that you're not wont to handling and your emotional equilibrium falls off balance. To adapt to those changes, you switch to coping mechanisms that help regulate emotions. But not all coping mechanisms are adaptive, she said. Alcohol use, for instance, may be a maladaptive coping mechanism which will ultimately cause more harm for a private. 2. You drink because you're bored. The thought of paying another Saturday night reception ahead of the TV might sound unbearable. That's unless you furthermore may have a glass, bottle, of wine at your side. Similar to drinking thanks to stress, drinking to deal with boredom may be a red flag, consistent with Andrew Mendonca, a psychotherapist with Addiction Treatment Center Sprout Health Group. When you say, "I'm bored reception, I'm getting to address the bottle," that's once you start to cross the road. When you feel bored or restless, Mendonca recommends going for a walk outside, as long as it's safe to try to sew, or calling friends and family. If you are feeling such as you can't believe these healthy coping methods alone and must drink, you likely have a problematic relationship with alcohol. 3. You drink on the work. Transitioning to a totally remote job is often tough if you're not wont to perform from home. It's going to be stressful to find out new tools and communication methods. Plus, you would possibly struggle with productivity. With no office to drive to and no boss looking over your shoulder, there could also be more temptation to Irish up your morning coffee or crack open a beer at 3 p.m. If you're performing from home and have justified that it's okay to drink while working, you're mistaken, Wynn said. While performing from home, you ought to conduct yourself even as you'd being on the work. If you're drinking to urge through the workday, it's a symbol that you simply have a drag. 4. You're constantly worried about having enough alcohol. Another way to understand that you're drinking an excessive amount of during isolation is that if you are worried about having enough alcohol and end up making extra trips to the shop or gasoline station just to shop for it. We should be minimizing trips that aren't essential immediately, so if getting alcohol seems like an important to you and you're going out often to refill thereon, you're probably drinking an excessive amount of. 5. Your responsibilities are falling to the wayside. Balancing your job, your child's education and relationships with family and friends are hard enough without an epidemic adding to the chaos. It's understandable if you drop the ball on your obligations sometimes. However, Which has said that if alcohol use interferes together with your priorities and obligations in any realm of your life, including work, social connections, and self-care, it's a symbol that there's a drag. 6. You've been making poor decisions while drunk. Many folks have let a secret slip or gone overboard online shopping after a couple of drinks. Hey, mistakes happen, we're not here to judge. But those alcohol-induced slip-ups should be few and much between. If you often make decisions when intoxicated that you simply wouldn't make or would regret once you are sober, there's a bigger issue at hand. 7. You don't feel good physically. Hangovers are a reminder that overindulging on alcohol isn't great for your body. So if you often awaken with headaches, sensitivity to light, dehydration and other hangover symptoms, it's a symbol you're going overboard. Which has added that generally feeling crappy thanks to drinking, thanks to disrupted sleep and eating patterns or less motivation to exercise, also are warning signs. 8. You experience withdrawal symptoms. When you drink often enough, your body becomes reliant on alcohol to function. Stopping alcohol intake when your body depends thereon leads to withdrawal symptoms, which range from mild to severe and may include shaky hands, anxiety, sweating, racing heartbeat, hallucinations, and even seizures. You'll begin to experience certain withdrawal symptoms within 6 hours of your last drink. If mild hangovers have progressed to more serious signs of withdrawal once you stop drinking, it's definitely time to reevaluate your relationship with alcohol. 9. You would like to prevent drinking but can't. Finally, if you recognize that drinking alcohol affects your life negatively but can't seem to hamper, it's time to urge help. Fortunately, there are many resources available. If you're experiencing difficulty coping or having problems with drug or alcohol use, you ought to immediately call your doctor or the Drug Abuse and Mental Services Administration (SAMHSA) hotline at 1-800-662-HELP 4357. They will refer you to local treatment facilities, support groups, and community-based organizations. The National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism also has a web treatment navigator to assist you to discover and evaluate the proper sort of look after you. Remember that we're all experiencing an unprecedented situation that's scary and challenging for several people. We all use different coping strategies, some healthier than others. If you become hooked into alcohol during this point, it's not a mirrored image of your character, intelligence or strength. We all need help sometimes, so don't be afraid to hunt it out. Many alcoholics will drink alone, or sneak drinks from a bottle during a desk or in their car. This sort of hidden drinking may be a tremendous red flag, and there's no other explanation for this behavior aside from alcoholism. Let's keep our society productive, safe, and sober by keeping our eyes open for problematic behavior so as to urge these troubled co-workers, family, and friends the assistance they have. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more recommendations on health, relationship, lifestyle and other helpful information to form life easier.